Hi Eric.
Hello.
We're here in Prague.
Yeah.
What's it like being vegan in Prague?
Being a vegan in Prague has actually gotten a lot better. I've been living in Prague about 7 years now, and I've been able to see the progression of a lot of restaurants and cafes that have opened up and a lot of greater awareness. So I would say when I first moved to Prague, there was maybe 1 or 2 vegetarian restaurants, not even vegan. And now there's about 25 vegan restaurants, including about 5 raw restaurants.
Wow.
So it's been exponential in growth and very exciting to be a part of.
Did you say 25 restaurants?
25 that are purely vegan, and I'd say maybe there's 4 or 5 that are raw vegan.
That's a lot.
There is a lot. Yes, exactly. I think it's probably one of the #1 in Europe, maybe behind Berlin, but it's pretty close to Berlin.
Why do you think there's such an increase in restaurants?
I don't know. It's kind of one of my side projects is to sort of talk to some of the owners of the cafes or some of the people in the community and try to get some sense of what's happened to it. I haven't really seen like any one specific thing. There hasn't been like an event or a festival that has turned anybody that I'm aware of. It's been gradual, just a couple of them here, popping up here and there, and maybe they've just been successful, and so a lot of people might not necessarily be behind the cause, but they want a restaurant that's going to do well, and they've been seeing that these ones are doing well. It's tough to get a table at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon with some of these ones, so it's popular for whatever reason. People are going to them.
So is it people from Czech Republic, or is it like mainly tourists?
I think that it's a combination. I think that a lot of people are looking up online what restaurants are out here when they're coming. You get a lot of travelers going through Europe, hitchhikers, just other people who are interested in alternative restaurants to the typical Czech places. So you get a lot of those, but it must be locals as well, because like I said, they're very busy, and so there must be some growing awareness in the local Czech as well.
So you said you want to create your own business?
Yeah, I've got a few different ideas that I've been floating around for my own business. The most current one, which is actually just getting underway now, is going to be a resource center for vegans and people traveling through here. There's plenty of places to eat and plenty of places to drink that are vegan, which I think is great, but what there isn't here quite yet is something for clothing, something for resources. I'm talking about like books, pamphlets, education. I want there to be more things out there for that, for people who are interested. Obviously I would get things translated to Czech as well, and then it's more fun stuff like t-shirts, belts, wallets, even like bamboo straws, for example. I met somebody recently who is, instead of plastic, is selling bamboo straws. It's not technically a vegan versus non-vegan thing, but I think it would be something that would be appropriate and something interesting to have as part of the shop, part of the stock.
So how are you going to go about creating the resource center?
Well, it's got a website already. It's not public yet, but it's going to be an online shop. It's not going to be a store as of now. If things go well, then maybe I will rent a small shop at some point. But for now, it's just going to be online, and I'm just going to try and promote it and see if people are interested. Primarily going to be European goods that I'm going to be buying and selling. I try to avoid, importing from too far away, so local as possible.
So I found you on Twitter, Vegan Prague.
Yes, that's great.
What made you create that account?
I created the account, I guess maybe around 3 years ago. I was just looking for a new way to connect with people, and I thought that this would be a good way, not on Facebook, but I did think that Twitter had some opportunities and some potential, and just seemed like a fun place to go and hang out and waste some time online, and also to meet with, of course, other vegans like yourself.
Yeah, it's cool. So do you think social media is a good way to spread the message of veganism?
I think it really is. I think that there is some really good community on there. At the same time, I think there's also a lot of really tend to be kind of closed into groups too as well. I think some of the vegans on Twitter have to maybe spend less time on like just back and forth with one another who are already kind of convinced, so to speak. Need to reach out more to other people on Twitter or in real life as well, and just get in touch with them and spread this message throughout as well. But it's fun and it's nice support, and I don't have too many vegan friends here in Prague, so it is nice to connect with people via this medium, so in that way it's good.
What do you think is the best way to reach out to non-vegans?
Best way to reach out, I would say first of all with compassion and with kindness. The same thing that we preach to about treating animals with. We have to remember that non-vegans are also animals and they need love and compassion just like everybody else. We have to reach out to them gently, to tell them in a nice way that there's alternative ways of living, alternative ways of eating on this planet that are less harmful, and you know, bring to their attention in a non-aggressive way that these types of issues, and see what sort of reaction they get. For me, that I think is the best and ultimately most effective way. Not everybody would agree with that, but for me, I think that's very important. How you treat people.
Say there's a meat eater who you are very, very nice to, and give them all the information they need.
Sure.
Like, but they still carry on eating meat. Like, what would you do in that situation?
I'm not sure that I can force anybody to change. I think you know, it's a long-term thing. Maybe this person will eat meat for the rest of their life, but maybe their child will discover these pamphlets, and maybe they will decide to give vegetarianism or veganism a try at some point and progress. So I'm thinking in a longer term goal. Of course, it doesn't always help the animals that are dying right now today, but I recognize that things take time. It was a progression for me. I didn't overnight become vegan. So I'm sure for other people it'll be a similar progression, and trying to force people usually doesn't work and can even have the opposite effect, and they dig their heels in and become more stubborn.
Do you believe that the world will be vegan one day?
I think that it can be. I don't know if I would say that it will be or won't be, but I think that there's a strong growth in that way. When I look at the statistics, you know, with the number of searches on Google for people looking at veganism, it's very encouraging to see that spiking. The story in Prague with all the restaurants here and throughout the world, even in places like Vietnam and Thailand and things like that, where you wouldn't necessarily think that it's going to be growing. I'm starting to see some growth there as well too. So yeah, I think it's potential.
Yeah, that's
we'll
cool.
See.
Is there much activism going on in Prague at the moment?
There is a few different events that go on in Prague. Every year in the summer there is a veggie parade. I think it's been going on for maybe 5 years, maybe 6, I'm not sure. And this has been getting bigger every year. There is also a raw festival that takes place once a year. There was recently a festival in what they call Central Park as well. So there's a lot of festivals, and in terms of activism itself, yeah, you'll see some protests going on. One that's currently happening right now is to try to shut down the fur farms in the Czech Republic. So you'll see some protests for that, and some activism posters, propaganda, things along these lines, getting the word out on these sorts of issues as well. Yeah. Also, another big thing is, you know, for animals, for people looking to get a pet, there's a big focus on adopting pets, dogs from shelters as opposed to buying them. So there's some activism on that as well.
Is the public open to closing down fur farms, or are they quite stuck in their ways?
I'm not really sure. I wouldn't say that I'm educated enough to know exactly where people stand on that one. It's just kind of, it seems like the infancy of the project, and infancy of a movement, I should say. So people are just starting to become aware of them. Probably a lot of people don't even know that there are fur farms in Czech Republic. So there's just starting to be some awareness of that, and then hopefully the consciousness will shift.
So why did you become vegan?
It was kind of went in steps. I became a vegetarian. Was off and on vegetarian maybe around 10 years ago. And then when I became vegetarian for good, I started looking more into other animal products. And again, it was information that I received here in Prague through the Veggie Parade and through other sources that you know, talked to me or explained to me where these other animal products come from, and the links between the dairy and the meat industry, which are very strong, and the cruelty in the dairy industry, the cruelty in the egg industry. And I realized that if I was being vegetarian because for animal welfare, then that wasn't enough, that I needed to go further than that, and I couldn't be, you know, supporting any animal production or animal goods. Yeah.
So do you have any tips for people that want to go vegan?
I would say if you're a meat eater looking to go vegan, go vegetarian first. I would say take it slow, don't try to force anything to your body right away, because that's going to be a bit of a shock. I would say try to get like at least 1 or 2 meat-free meals per week, sorry. Just as a gradual step, and then see how you go. There's a lot of meat substitutes out there as well, so if you really want to have still want to have that taste of meat or the flavor of a burger, there's plenty of options out there. And then over time, I think you'll need that less and less. If you're a vegetarian looking to go vegan, it's obviously a lot easier of a transition for you, but still I would say take it slowly. I can share some really good recipes for vegan scrambled eggs that are very good substitutes, and there's basically anything out there that you want to make, you can find a vegan version now. So it's certainly possible, and it just takes a little bit of planning, but I think it can be done.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Erik.
Okay, thank you.